I tell from hometown, it's a hot mess when you're hellbound to my old friends. Look a little rough, dust in the blood, prayed for the rain to drown in the flood with you, my old friends. My friends pick me up when I try to fall down. My friends, they make up for all my lost crime. My friends, they've seen every side of me. Santa Fe to Birmingham, you've always known the way I am, my old friend. Bought a town, a pretty dress that wasn't meant to be, I guess. My old friends, my friends spend my money every last chance. My friends, they done talk this devil to dance. My friends, they sing a wild melody. Breaking hearts, losing fights, singing songs throughout the night with my old friends. I got lost a while, fell off the map. I never planned on coming back to you, my old friends. But my friends pick me up when I try to fall down. My friends, they make up for all my lost crown. My friends, they've seen every side of me. My friends spend my money every last chance. My friends, they done taught this devil to dance. My friends, they sing a wild melody. Yeah, my friends, they sing a wild melody. I feel like the last time I played it might have been Valentine's Day. Maybe totally making that up. But I felt a lot of love in the room, whatever it was. So with that in mind, I'll do a love song here. This is about love at first sight. Maybe some of y'all came here tonight hoping to fall in love, and maybe you look across the room on this cold, snowy night, and you see somebody that catches your eye, and you fall in love forever, eternally. Or not, I don't know, it might not happen tonight. But if it does, and you're looking for something to say to that person to kind of get the conversation going, it's kind of about that situation. It's by a great songwriter from New Hampshire, who passed away a couple years ago, named Morrissey. Well, my heart skipped a beat when you walked into the room. And in 5 seconds, I was thinking bride and groom. I was thinking bride and groom. I thinking man and wife. I never fell in love so fast in all of my life. I know you like my friends. You gotta meet my parents. My daddy's pretty funny, and my mama looks like Betty White. I need another drink. I need to figure out a way to introduce myself to you tonight. I'm lousy on the first night, better by the third. I was raised Catholic, in case you hadn't heard, but I ain't the kind of man who lives in dreams and wishes, who walks around the house breaking bread and blessing fishes. If I sent a dozen roses just out of habit, Or would you press those flowers in your copy of Babbitt? I need another drink, I need a cigarette. I ain't giving up, I'm gonna get you yet. I'll give you the rights to my 10 best songs. And if you wanna talk, I can talk till dawn. Right now, I need a word that rhymes with earn. I guess your name is the first thing I ought to learn. Hope you're a Democrat, hope you like the Red Sox, hope you like bourbon with a splash of water on the rocks. Bourbon with a splash, that's the only drink I make. But baby, I could learn, there's a course I could take. You might as well give up, I'm gonna make my move. Well, honeymoon in Paris, we can hang out at the Louvre. We can winter in the city and summer up in Maine. And all of this will happen just as soon as I learn your name.
Remember he told the people and Bill?
Chances are I took the wrong turn every time I had a turn to take. And I guess I broke my own heart every chance I had a heart to break. And it seems I spent my whole life just wishing on the same unlucky star. But as I watch you cross the barroom, well, I wonder what my chances are. Well, I know you've looked around and you've seen what you needed to see. And at night when you're dreaming, you're probably not dreaming about me. Oh, it's safe to say I've stumbled, but I've managed to make it through this far. And as I take one step and then another, well, I wonder what my chances are. Oh, I have watched the world go by hand in hand and wondered why I'm still so alone. Could I lay down my foolish pride, maybe finally find my heart a home? The band has started playing a simple song I used to know. As I take your hand and walk you out and dance to the rhythm way down. Every heart has got a story, and mine just has a few old scars. But they could heal if you would hold me and tell me what my chances are. Oh, if you would only hold me and tell me what my chances are. We doing okay so far? It was a beautiful room. I'm very grateful to be here. I was just thinking the other day, I think this every night, I'm kind of surprised that I get to do this, and I don't take it for granted. I spent a lot of years playing in what you'd call subpar establishments, and for less than attentive or nonviolent audiences, and I really, it's great to play a place where people listen to you. I started out in a town called Crystal Beach, Texas, which is a peninsula. It's on a peninsula called the Bolivar Peninsula, down on the Gulf of Mexico. And I moved there in 1998, and it's the type of place where people use aliases, like nobody uses their real name. To give you an idea of it, and in retrospect, it was maybe a weird place to launch a show business career from, a place where everybody's trying not to be found. But the thing it had going for it was it had a lot of bars and a lot of drinkers and music fans, and I was the only guy who could play guitar and sing at the same time on the whole peninsula. And it made me kind of a minor celebrity out there, and so I started getting work. I started getting work at all these different bars, and the very first place I started out was a joint called Bob's Sports Bar and World Famous Grill, which we're all familiar with, I'm sure. And no, the name was misleading. It wasn't really a sports bar, but it was kind of like a little mini casino. It was a beer barn originally, like a drive-through beer barn, and they put a garage door on it and put some slot machines in, called 8-line machines. And I started hanging out there and doing gigs, and then I got a gig at the Stingery, and then a gig at the Ship's Wheel, and then I did a ladies' night with Carll at Sharky's, which was there's a lot of shrimper boots and Virginia Slim 120s, you know what I'm saying? And then I got a gig at Genie's 1, which eventually led to a gig at Genie's 2, which was a bait camp inside of a trailer 50 feet behind Genie's 1. Like people will be cleaning fish where you guys are right now. But anyway, but there was this guy back then named Mike, and Mike used to come to my shows sometimes, and Mike was a guy who was one of those guys who could get you things, like things that you might want or need if you lived on a place like this or anywhere really, but were illegal, and he could procure them for you. Drugs, I'm talking about drugs. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be coy about it. He could get you drugs, and he did. I think he did pretty well with it. But unlike a lot of people who are successful in that line of work, he didn't spend his money or his proceeds on a nice car or fancy clothes. He generally didn't wear a shirt, and he drove a golf cart most of the time. What he spent his money on was wild exotic animals. He had a zoo on the beach. He had a zoo, like a full-on zoo. And I don't know what else was in it. He had like a boa constrictor and a giraffe. He didn't really have a giraffe, but he had a lot of stuff. But I know that he had a full-grown African lion, and I know this because he used to bring him to my shows at Bob's Sports Bar and World Famous Grill. And what he would do, Bob's was like maybe about the size of this room, a little spot if you cut it down the middle. And there would be, I'm in the back here, and it'd be a floor-to-ceiling garage door, but it had windows. And then there was a gravel parking lot, and then Highway 87, and then the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the ocean from there. And he would put this lion in one of those circus cages with the bars on the back, you know, and then he would hook it up to his golf cart, and he would drive it, and he would back it up right behind there so you could see it. So if the like two people watching the ball game on TV turned around, they would sometimes see a lion there with me. And anyway, in 2008, a hurricane came and hit the Gulf of Mexico, and it was a direct hit on the Bolivar Peninsula, and it just destroyed everything. It took out 90% of the buildings, and I lost my home. Bob's washed away. A lot of people lost their businesses, and some people lost their lives. And I was overseas at the time. I was doing a tour in England, and I remember I was in London, and I couldn't get any information about what had happened back home because this place is so small and remote and isolated, and it was hard to get any kind of up-to-date info. And I remember I was about to walk on stage one night in London, and this woman handed me a newspaper. It was the London Times, and on the front page of the paper, I swear to you, it was the lion that used to hang out at my gigs at Bob's. And it turned out what had happened, and this became kind of an international story. I was just looking it up today because I was thinking about it, and sure enough, there's the lion online. What happened was when Mike heard the storm was coming, he did the Christian thing and he set all his animals free, right? And as you do. And the lion, I don't know what happened to the rest of the zoo, but the lion, I guess, instinctually went to high ground, which was this church 3 feet above sea level in the middle of town. And there were some other locals who decided they too were going to ride out the storm. But they eventually ended up going to high ground in this church, and they walked in, and there was a lion there. And I guess they recognized him from my shows and felt comfortable. And they went in and they rode out the storm together. And yeah, it's true. But it took 3 days for the National Guard to come and rescue everybody off the peninsula. And so for 72 hours, there was like this redneck life of Pi situation going on.